My fellow Americans, you're going to like what you're about to hear.
What's up, everybody? How's it going? Welcome to the Geeks Who Like Sports mashup.
Inauguration mashup.
Yes, it is. The inauguration is coming up in the next couple of days after this is released. And it is a historic moment.
You might be sighing.
Yes.
You might be crying. You might be shouting. Who knows? It's a non-political show today, but it's very political in how we're going to make our picks.
Right. We are going to be doing a what if we could have superheroes in control of the government.
Even saying that's funny.
Yes. Who would we want in what offices and why?
Yes.
Leah, I think we've got some good options here for several of these spots.
There's two ways we're going to approach this. There's, who is the golden five that you would want for a great world? That's going to be easy.
Right.
The fun part's going to be who would really actually rise to the top in a political atmosphere in this country, because it's definitely not the people you think it would be. The easy cabinet is Superman's president. He's 100%. A good guy.
Yep.
All American.
Yep.
Easy to pick.
Truth, justice, and the American way. Absolutely.
Yeah. I like to think Batman would be his vice president, but maybe be making a lot more shot calls than we think he is.
I think Batman's more like Secretary of Defense.
I think Batman's more a private citizen donor.
Yeah, or head of the FBI or something.
Yeah, he can put him in a detective role. But
Attorney General.
Right? Justice. There you go.
Yeah.
Batman's, and that's what he'd want. He wouldn't want to be a vice president. Vice president. Justice. Who would be a good vice president?
I mean, I think it'd be Wonder Woman would be the vice president for Superman.
Yeah, the problem is vice president doesn't have a lot of responsibilities. I don't want to insult Wonder Woman, but it's not a bad.
So then maybe Secretary of State, because she goes around the world as a diplomat and everything. Like
I can see that. Vice president has to be someone that we want to educate. So maybe Superboy. Actually, now I'm thinking about it.
Superboy, or like maybe his best friend Jimmy Olsen. Like
no, the press secretary Jimmy Olsen.
There you go.
You definitely wouldn't let Lois do that.
Well, I was gonna say maybe Lois Lane would be the.
Well, she's the first lady, so she can't do it.
Well, there you go.
Jimmy Olsen's press secretary. I think vice president's going to go to one of the Teen Titans. I just again, this is a fluffy one.
That's a good. Yeah, I think if you go with. There you go. You go Connor Kent or whatever.
He's a good kid. Yeah. He's got a little bit of an edge to him. And then, Speaker of the House, who's really good at talking? Deadpool.
Yeah.
Break the fourth wall. But look, the Justice League is basically your
sure.
easy.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to stick with DC, Lantern. maybe Booster Gold is your Speaker of the House.
Maybe.
The Flash is the head of Department of Transportation because he'll get all the roads fixed. So he can run on them.
Yeah, we don't even need the USPS anymore with Flash in charge, right? Yes. So Green Lantern fits in there somewhere too. So again, that's the easy one. Okay. Yeah. I don't think too many Marvel characters I'm putting in the White House, to be honest with you. Now that I'm thinking about it. Not even Cap.
I mean, Cap would be I think Cap would be like a lame duck president.
Well, I think he'd be more like head of the military. That's where I'd put him.
So so you'd have him as like the Secretary of Defense then.
Yes,
probably. That actually would make a lot of sense. Actually.
Yeah, like I could trust him in that role, right?
100%.
Again, this is the easy one. All right.
Yeah.
The real one is who actually has the demeanor to make it to the top. And I'm talking people, not good heroes.
Well, I mean, at that point, I think Booster Gold is president.
I don't. No. See, this is what I think happens. Okay. I think Booster Gold runs for president. He's doing really, really well. And I think Homelander wins. Because Homelander is a guy that's like, that might actually be where that show's going.
Yeah, maybe.
All right. I think Homelander's the type of guy who's like, I'll run against Booster Gold. In the last second, he just murders him. He's like, I'm president. I'm also dictator, czar, king, Caesar. Call me what you will. I'm in charge now. You got to be able to do stuff like that to become a leader, unfortunately. So you got to find someone who's willing to backstab and do whatever they need to get to the very top. And I am not being political at all in that statement. That's just truth.
Yeah, that is
justice and the American way.
That is true. I'm trying to think, like, if in Marvel DC, like, here's the thing. Actually,
Luthor, he did it.
Well, I mean, obviously, Lex Luthor did it. Yeah,
the president's here. Like, remember that in the Superman stuff, like where Luthor's like the president's here.
Yeah, I think actually though, you might be able to get like either a Reed Richards
Yeah.
or even a Tony Stark if he's
Yeah.
so true. Like,
That's a good pick.
because they definitely have stabbed people in the back for the greater
Yeah,
good,
they have the money.
right? Like they have the money, right? They have the fame, they have the notoriety. I mean, you could see a Tony. I mean, if Tony Stark wanted to run for president, he could, and I think he'd win.
I think he'd be up there for sure. Yeah, but I mean, yes, I think that's a fair statement. I mean, again, I don't think Batman would ever want to be up front like that. He'd want to be in the shadows.
No, Batman does not want to
Yeah,
be.
no,
That
he'd
big
be a
president,
private
no.
investor. Like that's what I always
Yeah.
say. You know what I mean?
No, he would be controlling things from the shadows. if
Yeah,
possible.
exactly. Yeah, no, you don't fly too close to the sun. But
Yeah, the White House is actually a branch of Batman Inc.
Yeah, he actually owns it.
Yes,
It's got Wayne Enterprises right on the front door.
He's got a bat cave under the White House. It is his spare bat cave, like just ready to go at a moment's notice. Yeah, no, that's more likely.
One more comic universe. I wouldn't mind seeing Charles Xavier and Magneto be president and vice president, and I don't know which order I'd want that to be in.
Well, I was going to say the Illuminati for Marvel, a lot of those guys, I think less so Charles, but a lot of those guys could, if they were so inclined, go for president. I mean, I think that, I think that, what was it? Beast was part of that at one point, I think, in Black Panther. And I think those guys are less so.
Black Panther would be a great president. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I think you're going to have.
Doesn't qualify, unfortunately. But
yeah, no, for sure. And I think that, Doctor Strange, maybe if he so chose, but again, I think he sees things on such a galactic,
it's nothing
scale.
to him. He wouldn't care. Like that's the thing. Like Stark would care. Homelander would care.
Mm-hmm.
You need someone with the ambition to get up there. Like Superman would do it out of pride. Like I need to do this. But I'm talking about people who want that office. That's a tough one to call. And again, when you think about the X-Men, it gets really fun.
I mean, Cyclops would make a good president. People may not want to admit it, but he probably would.
Depends. I think he'd be a good president during a peacetime.
Yeah.
I don't think he's a great wartime president. I don't think his decisions on the battlefield are always that great. You know what I mean? No. It seems great, but it's like, why do you guys need to be here right now?
He's big on sacrifice.
Yeah. I mean, he can do a superhero landing better than anybody I've ever seen, but like that, I don't know if he's always. Sometimes his sarcasm is too white collar for me.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, "Oh no, don't help me." Not. I love that in the show, but I don't know if I want that in my president.
That's fair. Right? That's fair.
So, anyway, this is a fun look. Inauguration Day is a few days after this is coming out. So much more fun to think of superheroes. One guy I would like to see at the Oval Office, character. Somebody we love, The Rock, which at one point was a real kind of thought, which I don't think is going to ever happen.
I don't think it'll ever happen.
I think the fact he made fun of that on his TV show shows you that.
Yeah.
And for those of you who watched Young Rock, the side story is it's actually Dwayne Johnson that he's running for president in the first season.
They're doing like a biopic on him or whatever.
Yeah, it's actually pretty funny, but I don't know if they're going to do a season 3 on that. I've heard the rumors that they are. So anyway, we want to know what you think. Who's going to be president? Not the real one. We already know that. Who's going to be the superhero presidential cabinet? We need to know because we got to make some light of the situation. So no matter what side you're on, you got to make light of it.
You got to make light of it. So, so comment below, like, share, subscribe. We want to know what you guys think. We really appreciate it as always. But yeah, for Lee, I'm Ray, and this has been this week's Geeks Who Like Sports Mashup.
Dun, 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 dun.
We're so screwed.